Hey guys, I just want to do a quick DVD update again, and then I'll do a Blu-ray update also. But I'll start with my DVDs that I've got over like roughly the last 3 weeks, which I've got more than probably usual just because I had a few gift certificates and some discount coupons and stuff like that to go shopping after Christmas. So I'll just jump right in here. This is a few things that I got at Amazon that were fairly cheap and just mostly stuff that I'd seen before or I hadn't seen in a while or I'd never seen at all. So since it was so cheap, I just picked it up. Nothing too special that I was really excited about. But the first one I'll talk about is Witches. I had seen somebody else talk about this and didn't realize that this was like a Jim Henson. I guess he's the one that did maybe some of the puppetry on this or whatever. You know, the animatronics. So I mean, that's what I heard. I'm not really for sure, but I was kind of bummed out that this is only available in full screen, and I usually try to get widescreen stuff. But it was just something to pick up for cheap. Not much to say about that. The next one I picked up, I have seen this before, I really like it, is Run, Ronnie, Run. If you're a fan of Mr. Show that used to come on HBO in the 90s, David Cross and Bob Odenkirk, this is just an extension of one of their characters into a movie. Pretty funny stuff, but definitely like an acquired sense of humor or acquired humor to like somebody that has that sense of humor. You may not like it, but I always really like David Cross's stuff. This is a couple of them I picked up that I had actually only seen this once, and it's been years ago, and then I watched a special about different things, like different scary movies several years back, and I've been wanting to see this again. And this is Night of the Hunter with Robert Mitchum. Apparently, like, this is one of those movies that was very shocking for the times, and it looks like it came out in '55, and it's about a guy that's I guess you could say like a serial killer or kind of like a predator, and he goes after children, which is very, very shocking to think about today, and then imagine, 50 years ago. But I always liked Robert Mitchum movies, and so I thought I'd check that out. It looks pretty interesting as far as, I don't really remember what I saw of it before when I was much younger. This is another Robert Mitchum movie, but this is Robert Mitchum with Gregory Peck. And this is one that I don't know if I've ever seen this version, but I've really wanted to. I've seen the remake several times. I went and saw it at the movie theaters, the one that was made in the 90s. This is Cape Fear, the original Cape Fear. The remake of Cape Fear was supposedly made to be very similar to this, just with an updated cast. So I'm kind of eager to see what this is like. I've heard really good things about this, and Gregory Peck, he's really good too. Keeping with the theme of some older movies, this is a really old one that a lot of you have probably heard of if you haven't seen. Todd Browning's Freaks. I watched this when I was really pretty young, like junior high school, and I was actually kind of disturbed by it. But since then, I've actually, kind of thought it was more interesting. I have seen this several times, but it's one of those movies that it's pretty legendary for when it was made, just because I don't think a movie like this could be remade the same way they did it. I think nowadays they would use special effects and hire actors to play these parts and not have real people with birth defects and different things that this would come across as very exploitive, is what I'm trying to get at, is if you did this today. But it's considered a classic now, and it's got a very unusual message that it's kind of scary. But Todd Browning was kind of famous for what he did with Dracula, so he got to do this movie, and I really think this is an excellent movie, but like some of the other stuff, it's not going to be for everybody, of course. This is another older movie, but like older, like probably like early 80s, late 70s. I'm not really for sure when Private Eyes came out. This is with Tim Conway and Don Knotts. When I was younger, Don Knotts has been doing things like Disney live action movies throughout the 70s and everything, but Tim Conway was kind of like a big comedian when I was really young. When he got done doing the Carol Burnett show, he went on to do a lot of movies like this, but he had done several movies with Don Knotts as well. But this is one of those movies that you hardly ever hear about anymore, but it's not bad. It's pretty funny. It's kind of a spoof of like a murder mystery, but it's got a little bit of supernatural to it. You know, it's kind of hard to say, and what they're really trying to do is spoof, or it's just satirical comedy. I don't really know, but it doesn't come quite across as a really great comedy, but it isn't a good whodunit either. It's kind of one of those oddball movies that's probably going to be stuck in limbo, is not really appealing to either one. But either way, I like the actors that's in it, and it's a very nostalgic movie for me. So this is probably one, if you're able to get it on Netflix or something like that, you might want to try it out. It's a very expensive movie to get. I think it's like $20, like regardless, used, new, everything. It must be kind of hard to find. This is another movie that I got recently just because I'm a fan of David Cronenberg, and I don't know why, but I've never seen The Brood. And I really have been wanting to watch this for some time now, and I finally picked it up used. It has been open, but I've never watched it yet. I'm still planning on watching this soon, first time I get a chance. But can't say much about that other than I heard it's pretty good. This is some movies I got recently. You have to excuse me if I maybe overlapped from last time. I don't think I had this last time. I got this pretty early in the month, but this is Jennifer's Body. I don't know how I feel about this. It's not bad, but honestly, it took me several viewings to get through it just because it just wasn't really holding my attention. It's okay. It feels like there's a whole lot of movie there, and then once you get to watching it, you're just like not really, it's not holding anybody's interest, I don't think, really. But I don't know. I mean, I think this could have been a really good idea. It's kind of funny more than it's going to be a very good movie for being a scary movie, I guess I'd say. Megan Fox is pretty good in it. I think the girl that plays her friend, that I'm not like really familiar with her name, she was the one that was on Veronica Mars and played the girl that had been murdered in the first season. And she was on Mean Girls. That girl, she's actually pretty good. I like a lot of her stuff. But other than that, I mean, you probably heard of that movie. No big deal there. This is the same way. This is probably one that you've heard about already. I decided to pick up the DVD just because I hadn't heard that many good things about it, and just because all of my Halloween collection is in DVD form right now. I really thought this wasn't a bad movie, but it doesn't feel like a Halloween movie. I don't know how to put it any other way than that. I don't hate it, but I feel like it really has started to split away from what I expect from Halloween, to the point now it's not comfortable to even watch a bad Halloween. This is more like you're sitting down watching somebody's interpretation that is completely skewed from what the original idea of Halloween is. This is it's more of a dreamlike version of Halloween. I don't know. It doesn't sit well as a good Halloween story for me. I think the stuff that they have about Dr. Loomis has really split also, and that's kind of thrown me off too. They've made Dr. Loomis out to be this kind of like he's the villain, and Michael Myers is more like the hero or something. I mean, if you've seen this, you may kind of get that from it, and you may not. But I mean, if you watch it, kind of think of that and see if that's what you think. Because honestly, I really kind of feel like what they've done with the Dr. Loomis character almost bothered me as much as what they're doing with the Mike Myers character. So, but other than that, it's okay. Nothing too special. This one I got not too long ago, and I was able to buy it used. Have not watched it yet, but I've heard it's one of the better remakes out of everything. This is Last House on the Left, the one that came out like in 2008. So can't say much other than I've heard good things about it. I'll have to let you know what that one, what goes